Ken and Kebrdle. We're the founders of the Word Wells, along with our daughter, who was 12 when we started.
Beautiful.
Now under 12. So Word Wells has been around now about 16 years.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. It wasn't part of the plan originally. We thought we would do something for a few years and then do something different, or do something we're not doing anymore. So we started this by we're fairly new Christians, so we felt that hosting a Bible study at our house once a week really wasn't enough, that we had the brain power or the interest in doing something more unique and more different. So we sold everything, moved into a bus with our then 12-year-old daughter, Maddie, traveled around the country and really immersed in poverty and homelessness and prostitution, and learned about a lot of the stuff that churches were doing that was beneficial or wasn't beneficial. It's things that we were trying and stuff that really had a negative impact. The whole daily dependency concept kind of developed from being out there, being in the camps, and being in the city parks where we're hanging out with homies, learning about the negative effects of charities. Okay, so
And we didn't learn it really until we stood in the lines and received it. You know, you really understand how it feels when you're living that lifestyle, really.
yeah, how your act of service makes somebody feel is super important if you're trying to love somebody.
Mhm.
And going in blindly without a relationship, how damaging that can be when you don't know what the needs really are, or how to do the best of it.
We didn't even ask the question, what do you need? It was just, here's some canned goods and some rice
Yeah.
the next day.
Even though people were giving the canned goods and rice too, had absolutely no way of cooking canned goods and rice.
Yeah.
Where it was whatever.
Yeah.
So when Jesus said, love God, love your neighbor, it sounds very simple. You do that, but when you immerse in this type of work, it's complicated, because love looks different to everybody. We often have an idea of what people should need, but until you have a relationship and talk, and then you find out what the way is to love them, So that's kind of everything we do is pretty much based on that. In different areas and stuff, we found that some areas there isn't enough food. Ocala, there's 7 meals a day available for people that are eating on the streets. So every church that wants to start helping, they want to start another feed line, but it's not loving, it's not helpful. So if you immerse in the culture, you'll learn what the needs are. In Ocala, the biggest needs are employment and housing. So employment, there's plenty of signs, help learn and stuff. When it comes to employer, they're often not willing to hire somebody that lives in a tent, dealing with mental illness, different stages of mental illness or addiction. And often our people that work for us are going through hard times, usually due to trauma that they've been through in their lives, and they're not going to just come out of it and be star employees from day one. So it takes a community or working together with them. So we started a job center when we learned that. We started doing that. It was very small at first. I think we started doing pallet art and we had 10 clients. And then word got out on the streets, so more and more people wanted to do things. So we started bringing in manufacturers, we worked for different manufacturers, and then got to meet your pastor, Michael. And he came in and with the new church out there in the forest, which is really interesting because there's a lot of folks that are struggling financially out there. But it's really hard for them to come into our main campus, which is downtown. So we talked about it and came up with the idea about starting a Dignity Center East. So we're shooting parts out there, and Michael and his team were able to employ people in the community and show them the love of Jesus, which is really kind of beautiful. And we actually talked about that to other churches around the country, because there aren't many churches that are willing to do that, perhaps your fancy church to stress people to come into work to bring the help that they need, is really a beautiful thing. But people, thought of it and they either aren't willing to do it or think it's very cool, but there aren't any of the churches that do anything similar to that.
No, but I know.
That we don't. none that we've interacted with. So it's really kind of beautiful when you can open your doors that way. And we've seen some of our clients that worked out there, been baptized, and really come to know the love of Jesus through that kind of situation. When you're there for people who are in their low spot, that's when you can shout at joy. We have that relationship. We did really silly things when we started, just assuming everybody's lost because they're in a tent, and now that they're lazy and that they're all aggressive and addicted to drugs and stuff, but it could be far from the truth. So we love the work, so you want to talk about this at all?
No, you're doing great.
I'm just doing always too much talking. So I think the reason Word Loves has been successful, again, we really intended to do this for a short period of time, and then we would do something else. But right now we have 90-some clients that work for us every week. 260-some different people worked for Work Loves last year.
So we did the Dignity Center East for a while out there at Neighborhood Church, and the work just kind of slows, and it's sort of seasonal, and we want regular work for regular people. So lots of ideas. We've swapped back and forth, I think, over the years. And one of them was, what about a plant nursery? And you've got acreage, you've got experienced people in your church family that know plants, and
we did think about that at our property, but our property is basically concrete with some grass moving in.
We need
So
to
we
do
did
hydroponics or
we
something.
did a small scale when we first started.
We did.
And we saw the benefit of people looking in the dirt and growing things that have done that and then taking them home and eating them.
Yeah.
That's just a beautiful, healthy, healing situation.
We did at our other location. We had a large garden, and we had clients. It was one of their jobs. They would pull weeds and work in the garden, and then they would get fresh produce. Is really hard to come by when you're in a distressed position. When you're eating in a soup kitchen, you're not given a salad bar. You're given mashed potatoes and gravy mostly, and noodles, and so fresh produce was really exciting to have available for our clients, and they were really excited about playing in the dirt.
Yeah, we think it's a great concept now, not just to provide work. It's just a great way to show the love of the people in your community. It's just beautiful. Churches often fail with it, I think. The whole goal is to get people to come to your services on Sunday, but if you get them interacting with your people who go to your church, and then they're feeling more welcome and feeling more, people care about what you believe when you invest in that. Yeah, I think so.
There's a big need for it out in that area too. We were talking with Commissioner Zalek recently, and we just really need more opportunities for work and therapy and those kind of environments.
How much to connect with you guys too?
Good, yeah.
We talked to them a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Done.